Rachel with Rachel's Unique Crafts, and I'm going to be making a video on how to make a bumblebee mesh wreath. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, and I would like to invite you to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you know when I upload new videos. So I do all kind of crafts, from making wreaths, centerpieces, swags, you name it. I like to do arts and crafts. I like to do primitive decor, just a little bit of everything, some Victorian, just all kinds of stuff. So a lot of DIYs, so just a good mixture of a little bit of everything. So let's get started. So today I took a Dollar Tree wreath frame, just a wire wreath frame, and I did a lot of steps, not fully but partially, so that it would not be a real lengthy video. But I took my now when I start doing a video, my mind just kind of goes blank. Chanel stems, some people call them pipe cleaners. So I take them and I just put them on here and do a couple of little twists. Now, this one has got 6 little Chanel stems, pipe cleaners in the middle, and I took on each little, where it's got a little crossbar, I took one and crisscrossed it from this side to this side so that it would not slip, it would not move. Then on the outside, the way they're spaced, I did 2 in this ring, 1 in this ring, 2 in this, and see, it's just between the little, and I'm calling them rings, between the little crossbars. So I think we have 15 all together. Okay, so now I went ahead and preloaded most of that except for one so I could show you. Now this is our 22-inch mesh. Let's see. That's our 10-inch. Let's see. And this is our 21-inch mesh. My mind just goes blank when I start trying to get in front of people and do videos and stuff. So please forgive me. So we're going to take our 21-inch mesh, and I'm going to fold the side over just a little bit. And then I'm going to start pinching. And what this does, this helps to keep this, because this outer edge is going to catch on everything. So if you fold it in, it helps that. Okay, I'm going to take a pipe cleaner here and just keep it snug. And some of the steps that I do, everybody doesn't do. Everybody does them a little different. There's no right or wrong way. It's just basically a personal preference, I think. Because it's all going to get you about the same results. So, and what I like to do is the inside ring first. And the reason I do, because you're not having to drag your mesh back over what you've already done. So, I'm going to take a zip tie. This is a step that not everybody does either. And I'm just going to start it out right like that. I'm not going to cut off this little bit on the end, because the more layers you have, of course, the thicker it is. So this is an order, and they did not want a big poofy wreath. They wanted something that was more smaller. So usually, you know, I would poof it up and do about a 10-inch poof. But this customer did not want a big wreath. So I'm not going to do a big poof on this one, because you can make them as small or as big as you want by doing, I'm going to go ahead and drop that on the floor, by doing the size of poofs. So these are just going to be low. And I have got some very pretty, this is going to be Bumblebee, very pretty ribbon that's got the bumblebees and the blues in it. Some black and white ribbon. I think this one is going to be very pretty. Now this mesh is kind of like a poly mesh. And yes, it's see-through right now, but we're going to put some more layers, and by the time we get all of our layers on, we have a blue mesh that we're going to add, and by the time we get that on and all of our ribbons, you won't be able to see through it. And I'm just trying to keep the edges of that mesh, you know, folded under, and the profile of my poofs down. Now, making a small one like this, you're not going to use the whole roll of this 21-inch mesh. And I'm just pulling them tight. And I'm going to bring these kind of up. All right, now I'm going to go straight down as tight and as close as I can to the nearest pipe cleaner on the bottom. And what I'm going to do, once again, everybody doesn't have to do this, and I don't know, I honestly don't know of anybody that does, but I always zip tie this one down. Well, I missed the wire frame. And I'll hold this up and let you see what I'm doing. Okay. So what I did, I took it not to the outside, but to the next one in, and I secured it down. Why I like to do that, I don't know, but I just do. Okay, so now we're going to start on our next row. And once again, I'm making sure that the edges are turned in so that they're not, they don't grab on everything. I have a little background about me. I have made wreaths over 30 years, but the mesh wreaths I've only been making a few years. But the grapevines and crafts and stuff like that, crafts I've been making since I was a young teenager. So I love it. I do medical billing by day, and I do wreaths and crafts by night. Double duty. I do have an Etsy store. That one slid a little bit. I try to pull them snug, and sometimes they unsnug. Okay, we're about halfway around on this this row. And to me, this step takes the longest in my book. And I just try to eyeball. I'm not measuring my poofs. I just kind of eyeball them at whatever I think is about right. Got some cute ribbon, some black and yellow stripes, some black and white buffalo check with the bumblebees. We got the blue with the bumblebees. Cute sign. Okay. Got 2 more loops here. Poofs. Say loops and it's poofs. Poofs. I try to use the color of pipe cleaners that's within one of the colors that I'm using in the wreath. Okay, our last one, so when we get here, just taking regular scissors. I use fabric cutting scissors. Friskas is the name of them. And you want to make sure you're using sharp scissors, whether you're cutting the mesh, the ribbon. If you don't, your ribbon is going to have a jagged edge to it. Okay, I'm taking the end here, and I'm going to run it up between these two. And so they're all secured down. So that step is done. The next step would be, and move this over, our 10-inch mesh, and I've chosen a blue and burlap. It's got a little burlap thread running through it. I cut my poofs, or my ruffles, or what you want to call these. This is a rotary cutter. These are wonderful. They help your mesh not to fray as bad. But these are very sharp. I do know I have ran over my fingers before on a live video on Facebook. Okay. 10, let's see, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so I just cut those at 22 inches. And I went ahead and pre-cut them so that y'all wouldn't have to sit here and just watch me cut, because it's not very fun. So the next step is I'm going to roll, I'm going to pinch. And this is just the way I do them. I'm going to start at the other end. I'm going to roll. And then I'm going to gather. There's no right or wrong way to do these either. Some people like them down. Some people like them up. It's personal preference. It really is. These, I guess I'm going to do them with the rolls upward. But that's like I say, personal preference, no right or wrong. It's just whatever design you want to do. Just take it. And these are not tight. They're not, you know, little bitty rolls. Pinch and gather. I guess I need to get the camera, don't I? Okay. This step I couldn't go ahead and pre-do. And y'all know how to do it without having the other steps done. So this will take a few minutes, and we'll try to hurry through this. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. We're having today is a little overcast outside for us. Okay, just take it and just a nice little roll. Push down, gather, and then walk your fingers like so. And see, this is how big the curls are, about almost 2 inches. So they're not little. I guess if you wanted them tight, you could make little bitty ones, but I like the bigger ones, the bigger little rolls. This here. Well, I started rolling that one. I hadn't got the other end done though. Let's take that right up on in there. Take it and twist, twist. I think this is going to be very pretty. this is the last one on the top row. And then we'll move on down to the bottom row. And then it starts, we start doing our ribbons. It all comes together. So this is what we're looking like. Black and blue. Okay, we will 2, 4, 5. I think that I did not cut enough. I was thinking 12, and I think I needed 15. I think I cut it short on my ribbons too. So we'll be cutting more ribbon. I don't know why I had 12 in my mind, but it's 6 on the top and 9 on the bottom. That is 15. That's not 12. Maybe I need to go back to school. It's Saturday. I guess I wasn't supposed to be thinking today, adding. That's okay. We're only 3 short. We can get some more. That is not a problem. It would only be a problem if we had ran out. We did not run out. We just stopped. Some people have their little special tools they use. I'm just using clothespins. You can use chip clips, clothespins, any kind of little pin. So I think I had to cut some more ribbons, some more mesh here. So that's about 3 little loops over. It's about 1, 2, 3. Gather. And just take it down the middle. Gather it, pinch it. So we'll go 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Together. Pull it tight and then just do a couple little twists. Over, twist it around, over, and over, push straight down, makes a nice little curl there. So yeah, I only cut 12, so we're gonna need 3 more. That's exactly what I did. I was wondering why I had so much. I keep that locked. Moved fingers for sure. Y'all see? Kind of got out of the camera a little bit. On the camera here. And by the time you get to the end of the roll, it almost does the rolling for you. I'm aware of where that, or I try to be, where that knife is going. Okay. That mesh grabs everything in its way and takes it with it. See, by the time you get to the end of the roll, it's wanting to roll for you. But I want to put my gathers in it. And there's so many different designs that you could do your rolls. You could cut this in half and just do 2 little rolls and layer them on top of each other. Now, this mesh grabs everything and holds on. If I'm delivering a wreath local and I'm not going to box it, I always get those foam boards from the Dollar Tree and attach it so that when it's laying in a vehicle or standing up in a vehicle, it's not catching on everything. Of course, when I ship one, it's in a box, so it's not going to catch on everything there, but okay, one last little curl here. Mash down, gather. Okay, our last little curl. Just pull tight and twist. Now, some wreath makers undo their pipe cleaners and then add their little ruffles. I don't. I just layer on top, on top, on top. So I don't open them back up. If I twist twice, I may twist once, but I don't do it all the way. All right, this is our sign. Isn't that cute? All right, to do this, because this is a thick little board, I'm not going to do no layering as far as for my staple to go through. I'm going to add some glue. You don't have to. I just like the extra little security. Now, let's make sure the staple gets on the board. Okay, then I'm going to take it and twist. I like to put one on each corner instead of just one on each side, because that way you can adjust it on the corners of how you want it to look. If you want to tilt it or whatever, it's easier to set it when you get it on the wreath. Okay, so that's how I do my sign. And if I had a thin one, I would use some foam board, and I just saved the little cardboard from my ribbon and cut cut little squares to make it thicker so that my staple does not go back to the front of the board and come out the other end. Okay. And y'all, I'm fixing to sneeze, I think. All right. I've chosen, I'm going to mix my ribbons up. I've got 6 different ribbons. I've got this 3 combo and this 3 combo. Let's see, because I only cut 12, I'm going to need 3 more. So let's do one more of this one. You do want sharp scissors. Can't emphasize that enough. If not, your edges are not going to be crisp and straight and pretty. So I'm doing these tails at 12.5 inches. Now, if I was doing a larger wreath frame, I would do 14 inches. Y'all, this is so cute. So cute. I'm taking them, folding them, and going from the middle down to the edge up to fold it to get your dovetail. Fold it in half, go down and up toward the edge. That's how you get a dovetail. Okay, now on this one I'm gonna do, we needed 3, so I'm gonna do 2. So 12.5, fold in half, make sure it's straight, go down. Okay, fold them in half. And because I had thought I had cut all the ones that I needed for these patterns, I left one that I did not so that I could show y'all. How I measure out all my ribbon. And all the ribbon is wired ribbon. You don't want to use ribbon that does not have wires in it. They would not hold their shape. They would not stand up. So that it would kind of look bad. Okay, so roll this back up. Now this one I had saved last because I was going to show you. This is a new roll of ribbon. So it comes folded down like such. I unfold that and I cut that crease off because if you don't, you will always see this crease of your ribbon. So, you know, I want my wreath to look as good and professional and pretty as it possibly can. So I don't use the bent part because you won't never get it unbent. It'll always have that crease. Okay, so I take it, it's 12.5 inches. I folded it, I go to the very tip, I fold again. Some people have ribbon boards, I don't, so this has worked for me. So there's 3, 4, I just stretch them out each time. That is 5. 6, 7, 8. Oh wait, we're not gonna need the whole 15, are we? We needed 6, 7, 8. So how many did I have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's stop right there. Straight across. I was fixing to roll off 15 of these, but I'm doing half of one pattern and half of another. You can do those ever how you would like. Get that out of the camera so you don't block your view. Take, go straight up. On this side, take it straight. I missed one, and see, I know where it's at because it's creased. So I cut in the crease. I will do 2, sometimes depending on the thickness, I'll do 3 ribbons at a time. I don't do a whole lot. I don't want to mess up and have jagged edges. So I will do about 2. And if they're kind of thin, I might do 3. This is a very pretty ribbon. It's a thick ribbon. I like this ribbon. You can tell good ribbon by how you can bend it and it stays. That's a good thick wired ribbon. You don't have to cut your ribbons in a dovetail. You can cut them at an angle. Some look better at an angle, some look better dovetailed. Unless you're doing a wide ribbon and folding it on the end, some of the more elegant ribbons look better that way, but for the most part, they're going to look better either dovetailed or angled. I heard something metal in there. Okay, so we have all of our ribbons. I want to show you all these ribbons. Isn't that going to be pretty together? And then look at these. I think they're going to be so cute. Okay. Our next step will be to add our ribbons to the wreath. We'll do that step, and then we will then after our ribbons, we will do a bow. Put our sign on. Let me put some of these up here to make just a little bit more room here. Okay. All right, I'm going to layer my blue, my yellow, and my black like such. I'm going to fold them in half, kind of crease them a little bit so I know where the center is. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to pleat it. All right, then I'm adding it in. I did not undo any of my Chanel stem or pipe cleaner. I take mine and I want to be able to see all of my ribbons. So I'm going to pull the yellow one down on this side. I'm going to do the black on up high. On this side, I do a crisscross. I want the colors of these ribbons all throughout my wreath. And I want to be able to see them. I just want it to be all mixed up so it, well, I didn't twist that one enough, did I? Make sure I twist it twice so that when you pull on it, you know, you're giving it a nice little snug pull, that it doesn't. Isn't that going to be cute? All right, now I'm going to go with the different set of ribbons. I'm laying the 2.5 inch on bottom. You don't have to there again. Then I'm creasing them in the middle. Unfold them and kind of pleat it. Pushing it down to the bottom of the Chanel stem, pipe cleaner, whatever you want to call it. And let's make sure I twist it twice this time. All right. And I just want to, you know, make sure that you can see all of the ribbons, because if you're putting all these ribbons in here, you want them, I want to be able to see all of them. If you're going to cover them up, why put them in there? You know, and I don't like for my ribbons to look flat. I like the right side up there. I like for them to be poofy, be, you know, rounded out. I don't like nothing flat. We get to our bow. I don't like the ribbons on my bow flat. I like for them to be poofy. I like for them to be rounded. Okay. So I guess they would call that an X, kind of with your ribbons. I just like to position them where you can see all the colors of the ribbons. And by having them, having different ones, you know, it brings your eye to flow around the wreath. It's, you know, to me, it's very pretty that way. Okay, so we're back to our stripe. So let's, and this takes a little time. Bear with me, we're gonna get there. Good thing about a video, you can fast forward a little bit. If you, if this part is boring to you, that's the good thing about videos. Okay, on this side, making sure I'm doing all my ribbons the same. All tell you the reason why. I couldn't. I'm doing the different patterns because I loved the blue with the bees. I loved the stripe, and I love this. And I also loved the flower because on the sign it's got little flowers on there. So to get them all in there, you know, mix them up. I've done other wreaths like this, and I loved them. So, you know, make them unique, make them your own, make them to what your customer is wanting, or if it's for you, make it, you know, the way that you would like it, because there's a style that matches what you like. Somebody else is going to like too. Everybody's style is not the same. Everybody's taste is not the same. So, y'all, I can't get my throat clear this morning. All the pollen. It's definitely springtime. Okay, back to our turtles here. See, we're almost around. There's 9 on bottom. There's 6 on top. I just love the yellow and the black stripe for the bumblebee. Very fitting because of the bumblebee stripes, you know. So this one went up on this side. And everybody loves the buffalo check. And I will come back through and kind of touch up my ribbons a little bit, because by the time I get the bow on and the sign on, it's going to move around a little bit. So I'll come back and fluff those out. Definitely before it's ready to leave. See, I'm just layering them on top of each other. Lining them up here. Fold them in half. Crease them so I know where the middle is. Pinch them. I'm giving a good twist twice, at least. Isn't that right? Okay. I'm thinking. I got this one backwards. Yes, from what I was doing them. There you go. I thought that was okay. Now we got it right. I try to keep each pattern going the same direction. Like if the bumblebees is going down on this one, on the right side, I make sure it's the same going around. That's just me. You wouldn't have to. Okay, one last one. And because it's an odd number, there's going to be 2 that are exactly the same side by side. Honestly, it doesn't matter. And I have seen some makers that use the Dollar Tree frame that do 2 more on the bottom, but I think it gets it too crowded. It's too, I want to be able to see my ribbons. I don't want them bunched up to where you can't see them. That's the purpose of having pretty ribbons. Okay, because I chose the 2 with the blue bumblebees here together, I'm going to start up here. Let's see, I guess it's not going to really matter because they're kind of in between. So, but I want to start with the stripes. And we're almost through with this. This is 6 more of the ribbon tails. Got 9 done. We'll do 6 more and we will be on our way to the next step. So bear with me a few more minutes. You can find me in the bio. I have my link to my Etsy shop. I have my Facebook. I'm on Pinterest. I haven't posted on Pinterest in a little bit, but I am on there. I am on Instagram. You can find me everywhere. I'm like Santa Claus. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. If you like to make crafts and share what you make, share, and get ideas from other people, I have a Facebook group, Rachel's Unique Crafts VIP. We need to get people in there that's sharing content to share crafts and stuff. So hop on over there and ask to join, and we'll approve you. It's kind of a slow start right now, so we need some people posting their crafts over there. It's not a selling page. It's just a page where people can just share their ideas, share their crafts they're making, sharing and getting ideas and giving ideas. That's what it's all about. Okay, this is next to the last one on the stripe here. And if you're watching, drop me a comment. Let me know that you've watched, that you've seen it, what you think. Got any ideas? Send me pictures of something that you've made, if you want to make, would like for me to make. I'll sure give it a try. You can share the video out to Facebook or to your friends in Messenger or text and an email. That one is kind of uneven. That's going to bug me. Okay. It looked like you had a little wild hair there. Okay, we're down. This is 2 more after this one. back to the stripe. The last one for the stripe ribbon. Last night on Facebook, I made a wreath, kind of shabby chic, kind of Victorian wreath out of a mop head. I have made those and sold those on Etsy before. I like those. Very cute. Okay, the last one, and we're moving on. Moving on up. We are fixing to attach our sign. Sometimes with the wired ribbon, a little wire, kind of, the end tip of it does kind of slide out. I just like to kind of snip that off because it will catch on everything. So by the time you get the ribbons on, it looks like a completely different wreath. See how pretty? I'm loving the blue, the black and yellow. It's kind of different than this, you know. I haven't really seen that a lot, so I'm really loving it. Now, I'll go back through. I won't right this second, but, and kind of fix the ribbons, you know, so that you can see all of them. See the little flower there on the sign? And that's what gave me the inspiration for this ribbon. Thought it was very pretty. All right. I'm probably going to hold it at an angle so I can put my bow over here. Some people do not put ribbon under where their bow is going to be. There again, personal preference. I like it because even though it's covering up a lot, I'll tell you what I need to do before I do that. It's, your tails stick out from under the sign. So that's why I really like to go ahead, even though my sign is going to cover up most of the ribbon, they still peek out on the edges. So I like that. It just, to me, it adds more. I take a 10-inch piece of, it was pulling on everything, so I moved it a while ago. This net. It is my mind, I'm telling y'all, when I do videos, my mind just goes blank. It's this little colored net, but I do about 10 inches. Tulle, that's what it is. Y'all, it's just real around here. It's just real. So I take the 10 inches and just loop it around my fingers and make a little loop. I don't tie it or anything. Then I take it down here where I've, the bottom of the loop. I'm going to take that and push it down in to the bottom where my pipe cleaner is. Hey, I remember pipe cleaner. Twist it. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. I'm going to snip it. And then I'm going to fold it under. And this tool is going to grab on the mesh and everything else. And that's okay, because I'm going to keep it there in the middle So you see the difference between your pipe cleaner showing and the little, it adds just a different texture to it. It adds a little bit more color, and it covers up the middle. I just like it. I seen this from Melly Mill. She does it or did it, and I like it, so I do it. There again, everybody does not, and that's fine. But it just adds so much more. All right, let's get that out of our way. I'm gonna go ahead and do these top ones. So that I can add my sign on top of them and they'll be covered up. And you wouldn't have to. This is a step you don't have to do either. Like I said, it's just a step that I like. And on these, I want to make sure that my tails are coming down, because they're going to peek out from my, behind my sign, behind my bow. You know, everything that's on top, they're going to peek out from. This tool likes this mesh. But if you can get it past those edges without it getting hung up, you're good to go. I've got two more on top, and then the top is complete with the ribbons, and all we got to do is add our sign, make us a bow. The top is finished, and you'll have to let me know what you think with changing up the different ribbons every other time. You like that idea? If this helped you, or if you liked it, or maybe what you would do different. You know, different people's got different ideas. Okay, now I'm going to try to position it where this corner is going to let these ribbons stick out, and this corner is going to let these ribbons stick out. Now I'm going to take the pipe cleaner and feed it through the mesh. I'm not going around the mesh. I'm going to take it layer by layer, and I'm going through the mesh. By it sitting on top of the mesh, that sign is not going to go and get buried deep down into the wreath. It's going to sit on top. I'm going to bring it down just enough that it's snug. That it's not going to flop around and it's not going to move. And I'm just wrapping that pipe cleaner around the frame. Now I'm going to go from this side, and this is why I put the 4 on here, because that way, see, if you could put the 2, but you just have more leverage by doing the 4 because you can control it better of how it sits and it not move around. I was hearing something popping. Let's see, even on here, did you see how you got your tails just sticking out from the top? So if we didn't put ribbons, you know, around on the top, even though most of those is going to be covered up, but you've got ribbons that are popping out. The tails are popping out. So to me, so you can adjust how high, how low, all this by having those 4. By having the 4, you can control it more. That's what I like. You can do it any way that you would like. Let's see, over here you got tails sticking out on the side. I'm just reaching in here, pulling them out before I get all this tied down. This is one of them ribbons that's got a little wire sticking out. It's just a tiny little bit, but that tiny little bit just kind of gets in the way. So, all right, so I'm going through both layers of mesh. This just helps your sign not to move around as much. It's just an extra little step, a little extra security there. See, I'm taking it, going through the blue mesh, through that curl. Then it will go through the layer of black mesh. And you could take it around the mesh and go straight to the frame, but that way it's going to lay flatter. It's going to be sunk in more. And by this way, it's going to stand up taller. And you can actually go from one side of the frame to the other with it. And control better how far that way or how far this way you would like it. Okay. Give it a shake test. It ain't going nowhere, see? And so now you have all these little pops of color coming out up here. See how your tails come out? And so you wouldn't have to put the ribbons on the top, really, you know, by the time you get your bow and your sign up there, but it does pop out around the edge of your sign. And I mean, if you had a smaller sign, it would even pop out more. But having the bigger sign, you wouldn't really have to do that step, but I just like it because it just puts a little extra pop in there. So now we're going to do our bow. And lay that where it's not going to catch on everything. Okay, so to do our bow, I take 2 pipe cleaners. I do about 1 inch from the very end. I take them and I twist them. And that's not going to come apart, but I take that side, and then I twist it around one of the sides. It doesn't matter which one. But you know what? They ain't nothing gonna break that part. So it's there to stay. Just an extra little precaution. Okay. Now let's use our ribbons that we used around our wreath. And we're going to, I'm going to do about 12-inch tails. So I'll measure 12 inches, then I'm going to take it and I'm going to pinch it. Twist it and put it down in here. I'm going to do about a 7-inch loop. Take it, I'm going to pinch it. Twist it. Do a 7-inch loop over here. This Easy Bow Maker makes bows very easy. Now this bow, I'm going to do one loop on the back. I'm going to measure my tail and get them about the same length. I'll go ahead and dovetail these because they're going to be our longest little tails. So that one's used. Now this one on the tails, I'm going to come up a little bit, probably about an inch shorter. I'll take it, gather it, twist it. The twist part goes into the little spindles. I like to hold mine snug because I don't want them moving. Everybody doesn't do that either. Everybody, you can do things your own way. Okay, on this one, I want every layer of my bow, all my ribbons to show again, okay? So, the bottom one, I'm going to have in the middle. So, the second layer, I'm going to take one up top. So, I'm going to pinch it, and I'm coming in about 6.5 inches on these loops because they're, again, I want them to be layered. I want them to be where every layer shows. I mean, right? That's the purpose of us having different ribbons, is because you want them to show. So, let's twist this. Okay, I'm doing 2 loops on it. You see, these are going to be spread out, and you're going to be able to see that yellow stripe showing between the 2 blue bumblebee ribbons. Measure. Let's see here. Because I've already cut these shorter, I'm going to go ahead and dovetail these. You can't wait to the end and do that. All right, I don't want the same 2 patterns of bumblebees on top of each other, but I don't want the same color. So, and this is just how I think of doing my bows. I've used the yellow and black, I've used the blue. So I want something, you know, different. So let's use our black and yellow and white. because we've got the yellow and black, we've got the blue. I don't want to use the yellow and black again because, you know, I don't want to use the blue because it's going to be right there with the blue. I don't want to be patterned. Let's use this. And that's just what I think when I'm making my bow, and that's how I think about choosing my ribbons. I want something different on this layer. And so that's how I decide what ribbon I'm gonna use next. I like the 2-1 method because of how it layers. I like being able to see all the ribbons. Now I'm going to check, make sure because these are higher up away from covering my measurements. I want to make sure they're all, you know, correct. So all right, now let's see. Let's use our yellow because our yellows is going to fall on top of the blue. Okay. So let's do 2. You see I'm getting a little shorter with each of my tails, and that way you see your different ribbons in your tails. I used to do freehand bows. I have arthritis in this one in my hand very bad, so that's just not an option very often. Unless it's a 1 ribbon bow, I usually use my bow maker, my easy bow maker, because it just holds the ribbons for you while you're arranging them and placing them. No shame in my game. That's part of age. Okay. Dovetail this one. Dovetail this one. Let's get that out of the way. Right, let's see now. Let's go back to our blue now, because we've got our yellow and black. We've got our blue. We got another yellow and white and black and yellow and blue, yellow and black. So let's do blue. This just brings all the colors, and it makes all the layers just really pop. It gives dimension to it, where if you had, you know, 2 or 3 layers of the same color, you're not going to really notice all the layers and the dimension of your bow. That's my thinking. Okay. All right, now, make sure that's out of the camera, not blocking any views. Okay. And this one, I may take the little tails a little longer. What we're going to do with this one, we're going to pinch, twist. I don't want my loop to be bigger than the blue. Just a hair smaller. I'll gather, come down, snip. I'm going to place this one right here. Snip. Snip. we'll show you something on these little tails. Now, we have all the layers. See how it just takes you down with all the different colors? Your eye just kind of flows all the way to the bottom because you're seeing different levels. You're seeing different colors on every level. And so it just draws your eyes all the way down. Okay. That's held nice and snug. And so between these two dowels here, as you ease your bow up, I'm trying to hold it. And I've got one finger on one side and my thumb on the other side. I've got it held on the bottom. I'm going to take my zip tie and go down between here. And it's in that crease of where the dowels were sitting. And if your zip ties cooperate, I've already layered my my loops kind of how I wanted them. So there's not a whole lot of maneuvering that I need to do. But I'm just kind of going over them a little bit. Now I'm going to move this one over. And I'm going to pull tight. I like those long ones because you can grip them better. Okay, we've snipped that off. I know that I have not put the tool on the bottom row yet. But I want to go ahead and get this step done. So y'all can see about how it's going to look if y'all needed to get off. And I was wondering where my other tail went. There it is. Okay. May get my head out of the camera a little bit, but all right, I'm gonna slip this one down by having the two, whether you've got a thin wreath or a thick wreath. I do too, because I'm gonna take my zip tie, not my zip tie, my pipe cleaner all the way over here to this side of my wreath and wrap it around that wire. Just gonna give it, you know, 2 or 3 little twirls around there, and that way, you know, it's just like your sign. That way you can position your bow and control it better by having it go all the way across your wreath. Now my table is too low for me to stand all the time to do this, but so that's why I sit. I need to put it up on blocks or something, I guess. Okay, see how I moved it closer over here? Just getting this where it's not going to move. And so your bow's not going to fall off. It's not going to move around. Give it the old shake test. Okay. So see, now you see your layers all through here. And the same, you know, going for your ribbon tails, you know, by them being different lengths. Okay, your middle loop. it hides, by doing one loop, it hides that zip tie. This one, you can either take and do loops down, loops around. You can make them straight like the rest of it. Personal preference. Ever how you want to do them. How cute is this? So now I will put, I'm basically finished. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm just going to add these little tools going around the bottom so that it hides those pipe cleaners. I'm going to fluff my ribbons and it will be ready to go to its new home. This one is already going out to someone, so it was made to order. So, and so you can't see the tail, the little ribbons under the bow, but still, when you're looking around and you see that, you get up close to it, it's got the little tails poking out over here. So that's why I go ahead and do the ribbon tails, even though, you know, they're going to be 90% of them most of the time is covered up by the bow. It's just like the sign. They're going to peek out anyway. I will get these done. I'll hold it up again. Let you see the finished product. If you need to go, this is the last part that I'm doing. It's just adding the tool on here. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it. Because I will be adding more videos, more tutorials on how to do different things, from wreaths, grapevine wreaths, mesh wreaths, garlands, swags, mailbox swags, primitive home decor, you know, patio decor, porch decor. I make a little bit of everything. Fake bakes, I have done a little bit of that and will be doing some more. So that's going to be added in here. If you and fake bake is, if you see I've done the candied apples where they look real, but they're fake, you know. They're just fun decor for the kitchen, for birthdays, for Christmas, for anytime, all the time. I've done a couple of cakes and I've done one cake. I've done 3 apples. I've done like a hot cocoa. So we're going to be doing more of those also. So if you would like to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you get notified, you know, ever how you have your settings set up, you'll get notified when I post a new video. I would appreciate your support on here, watching the videos and sharing them out. Spreading the love, as we call it. It doesn't cost you anything, just a click of the button. And that helps us so much. It lets YouTube know that you liked our video. The big difference in YouTube and Facebook is YouTube, you can come on here and find our videos any time you'd like. On Facebook, after so long they get deleted, but they also are not evergreen. You can't always find them even if they're on there. But I did read the other day where some of them, Facebook deletes them after so long. So we're trying to transition over to the YouTube. And this wreath has turned out so mighty cute. I appreciate y'all watching. And I hope that you liked it. And I really hope that you come back and see me again. Leave me a comment. I'd love to get to know you. I like all my friends that watch and subscribe and share, and as you know, your name starts showing up more often, and you know, you just get to feel like you kind of know some people, you know. So I think it turned out. Now they're fluffed and it's ready to go to its new home. Isn't that beautiful? It just says spring and summer. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.